Ron Atchison from McKee's 37. I'm getting ready to clean up my car, and I want to share the procedure and different chemicals and tools that I use to keep the wheels and tires and fender wells looking really nice. Typically, wheels are painted silver or they're a matte finish with a clear coat on them, and those are easy to take care of. You can use various tools on them and different brushes and not inflict any kind of damage on the wheel. My wheels are a little bit different. They're painted gloss black. They're basically as shiny as the paint on the car, so that in itself is a little bit of a challenge. You have to be a lot more careful about what tools and techniques that you use to keep them looking nice and not scratch them up. So I wanted to share with you the different chemicals I use, the different brushes that I use, and how I go about taking care of them. So let me get this camera spun around and we'll go through the steps. Okay, we're back. Got my Carolina detailing card all loaded up. Got my turbo car dryer, different brushes, wash mitt. For the fender wells, I use our high intensity APC Plus. I mix that at a ratio of 4:1, and we'll talk about that a little bit. A lot of people get confused on what does 4:1 mean, 5:1, and how do I figure that out? Well, it's actually pretty simple. In this particular instance, I'm going to be using our APC Plus at 4:1. So I've got 16 ounces of water, and I've got 4 ounces of APC Plus. And the way that I arrive at that is I take my highest number, which is the 16, and if I want a 4:1 ratio, simply divide that by 4, which gives me 4, which tells me that that's how much chemical that I need. Now, if I were going to use a 5:1 ratio and I had, let's say, 20 ounces of water, so I would simply take the 20, divide it by 5, which gives me 4. So that tells me that I need to add 4 ounces of chemical to 20 ounces of water to arrive at 4:1. Now, our particular bottles have dilution ratios built right in them. This particular bottle is a 36 ounce bottle. This bottle is a 24 ounce bottle. Right here, this ring is the 24 ounce mark. This ring here is the 36 ounce mark. But in the instance that you're not wanting to use a full bottle, say you're only wanting to mix up 16 ounces of something, that's how you arrive at the proper ratios to get the ratio that you're looking for. So we're going to go with a 4:1 on the APC Plus. If you guys haven't got one of these handy little funnels that we have for filling bottles, you really need to get one. They're actually pretty darn slick for what they are. Makes it easy to pour the product into your bottle when you're refilling without spilling. You're not looking for funnels. Simply pour the solution in, and there you go. So that's 20 ounces at a 4:1 ratio. When we're done, simply take the little funnel off, put it right back on your gallon jug. It doesn't get lost, you're not looking for it. Saves time, effort. Then go ahead and put your sprayer on. Another tip I have for you is have yourself a dedicated wheels only bucket. Rinsing buckets out and all that is really not good, because there's a lot of, in brake dust, there's a lot of metal particles that, you know, can get stuck to the bottom of the bucket, or grit or anything else. And the next thing you know, you didn't get your bucket rinsed out good enough. That's in your wash mitt and you're rubbing that on your paint. So have yourself a dedicated wheels only bucket. In my bucket I've got a couple of gallons of water. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our Ceramic Series Auto Wash. I'm going to put an ounce of that in my wheel bucket. These handy little measuring cups. Pick these up at the dollar store. You can do a quarter of an ounce, half ounce, full ounce. This one here is really handy. This is a 2 ounce. Pick this one up at Walmart. They're all just a couple of dollars. Makes things a lot simpler than taking a bottle of expensive car soap and just giving it a squirt. So then what you want to do is take your mitts, have dedicated wheel mitts. These never touch the paint on your car. Put them in your bucket, let them sit for a good 5-10 minutes to get softened up, absorb all the water everywhere, and use those to wash the wheels. Now after I've got the wheels all clean and fender wells all scrubbed up and everything, while they're still damp, I take our SiO2 tire shine and mix it 50-50 with water. And I've got a small little atomizer sprayer. So while the fender well is still damp from rinsing it out, I go ahead and just mist that in. And a little bit of water that's in there dilutes it a little bit more, but that's okay. That does a couple of things for you. It keeps your fender wells looking really nice. They come out with just a satin finish. They don't look glossy and shiny and greasy. And the other thing that it does is it prevents things from sticking to it. So the next time you go to wash your car and clean up your fender wells and stuff, it's a lot simpler to do. So now the brushes that I'm going to be using, I'm going to use our little detail brush. Going to be using that on cleaning around the lug nuts, the valve stem, all the little nooks and crannies. Works perfect for that. It's nice and soft. It's not going to scratch anything. For my fender wells, I'm going to be using our Go Easy detail brush. This brush is 16 inches long. As you can see, the end of it's rounded. Got a nice thick handle on it. Got grip built right into it so it doesn't slip out of your hand. Of our easy detail brushes, this one's probably has to be my favorite. It makes cleaning fender wells so easy. The brush itself, it's long enough that it'll fit all the way to the back of the fender well. Still got plenty to hold on to. The rounded end on the brush gets in the back of the fender well where it's rounded. It makes it very easy to clean that area. This is a phenomenal brush for cleaning fender wells. All-time favorite. So getting into the barrels, I'll be using our Easy Detail wheel brush. This brush is also 16 inches long. It's got a nice rubber tip on the end of it. Prevents scratching or digging into the surfaces anywhere. This brush can also be bent, so if you want to put it on an angle of some type to get behind spokes or whatever, works perfect for that. And then for tighter areas, which this car doesn't have, we also have our small Easy Detail brush. Same thing, it can also be bent. Got a nice rubber tip on it. This brush is probably about 8 inches long. And then cleaning the sidewalls on the tire, it's our tire brush. Works good. It's just stiff enough that it scrubs the tires really well, but it's not so stiff that if you accidentally hit the edge of your rim that you're going to scratch the surface. And once the car has sat for a couple hours and everything's dried out good, and the fender wells, I'll just go back behind and lightly wipe down the fender wells to get any kind of excess tire shine off the plastic of the fender wells, and I just use our all-purpose microfiber towel for that. So, as you can see, the wheels on this car are gloss black. They're dirty. All kinds of dirt up inside the barrels of the wheel. So on the face of these wheels, I'll be using the wash mitt that you saw me put in the bucket. That particular wash mitt it's a nice mitt, but it's a cheaper one. I think I picked it up at Advanced Auto for $6, $8. I'm not really sure. Had it a long time. Now that I've got my APC Plus mixed up to the ratio that I want to use, that's the only chemical that I'm going to have to dilute. All the rest of our chemicals are all ready to use right out of the bottle. So the procedure that I use is, first I power wash the wheel. Down here in Florida, most of the dirt is sand. So there's a lot of grit in there, and you definitely don't want sand particles getting in your wash mitt, getting in your brushes, and grinding that into the paint. Whether it's a matte finish, a silver finish, or a gloss finish, you just don't want to do that. So I'll power wash the wheel, get all the loose stuff off that I can up in the fender wells and all that. So then I'll go ahead and spray down the fender wells real good. I'll totally saturate them with the APC, let that sit and dwell. And while that's dwelling, I'll go ahead and use our foaming wheel cleaner gel and spray that on the wheels. Give that a chance to work so it can start breaking down all the ferrous metals and brake dust and dirt and grime. Then I'll go ahead and use our tire and rubber rejuvenator to get the tires cleaned up. That stuff works phenomenal. It goes to work instantly. Basically, as soon as you squirt it on the tire, it starts eating the garbage off of it. So then go ahead and give it a scrub with our tire brush. So then once I've got everything all nice and clean, all the soap rinsed off of it, I'll give them a coat of our SiO2 Ceramic Series Hydro Blue. Even though the wheels are coated with our McKee's 37 wheel coating, this works as a really good topper for that. It extends the life of the wheel coating, makes drying them a breeze. With the turbo car dryer, all the water simply just blows right off with hardly any effort. And then once I've got everything all dried up and ready to go, then I'll put a coat of our Tire Shine SiO2 Enhanced. And I like the one coat, which gives a nice satin finish. I'm not a fan of super shiny tires. I like a tire that looks just like a new tire, clean, satin finish. And that's basically all I do. It's a little bit more effort than your typical wheel, but really not much. It's more just using common sense and using quality products. It keeps everything looking good. I covered quite a bit of information, gave you a few tips along the way. So let's do a short recap of the procedure and the products that I used, and I'll show you the end results. Okay, let's take a walk out here and I'll recap all the products that I used. I used a dedicated for wheels only wash bucket. I added an ounce of our SiO2 ceramic series auto wash. I used a dedicated wheels only wash mitt, our various easy detail brushes, our high intensity APC Plus, our foaming wheel cleaner gel, tire and rubber rejuvenator, our SiO2 tire shine diluted 50-50 with water for treating the fender wells, and then I finished off the tires with our tire shine SiO2 enhanced. As you can see, everything came out perfect. No scratches, no marring. Wheel barrels are cleaned perfectly. Tires look good. They look like a new tire. They have a nice low gloss finish to them. Nothing too shiny. Fender wells look like brand new. Again, that was our tire shine mixed 50-50 with water. While the fender wells were wet, I just misted it in, let it dry on its own, and then came back with a microfiber towel and just gave them a quick wipe down. So everything came out perfect. Alright guys, I hope you found the video informative and useful to you. Obviously this is just my method for keeping my wheels and tires and fender wells looking good. All the products that I used in this video can be purchased at McKee's37.com. Thanks again for watching. This is Ron Atchison. Have a great day.